Hello, everyone. This is Independent Conservative. I am Ryan Bowling. Thank you all for joining me once again. I'm glad to be back. It's been a while. I've been busy, but I'm glad to be back. I want to thank all of you guys that have subscribed to my channel and watched my channel. I want to say I appreciate each and every one of you guys. You don't have to do it. There's a ton of other YouTubers that you guys can go to listen to, but you choose to listen to me as well, and I appreciate that. I want to say that I appreciate it. What I want to talk about in this video is something that I don't really like talking about because I don't watch basketball, okay? I don't watch men's basketball. I don't watch women's basketball. But you know what I'm about to start talking about. Catlin Clark, okay? Everywhere I look, every YouTuber, just about every other person, left or right, they're all talking about Catlin Clark either positively or negatively. Now, like I said, I don't watch women's basketball. I don't hardly watch men's basketball, but I watch highlights. Okay, I've watched quite a few highlights of Catlin Clark, and clearly the woman is good. Okay, the woman is good. But I want to let you guys listen in on an audio clip that I have from Breitbart News of an interview that she had in which she basically backtracks on this so-called culture war, that her name being used in the culture wars and so forth to spread about a lot of, a bunch of nonsense. And she backtracks on it and basically says she's disappointed that her name is being used in it. So I'm going to let you guys listen in on part of this interview, and then I'm going to give you my commentary on this.
It seems no matter what you do or what is done to you, it becomes a topic nationally. And a lot of times it becomes divisive. I wonder from your standpoint how you feel about people using your name in whatever culture wars or whatever wars they're fighting. How do you feel about that?
It's not something I can control, so, I don't put too much thought and time into thinking about things like that, and to be honest, I don't see a lot of it. Like I've said, basketball's my job. Everything on the outside, I can't control that, so I'm not going to spend time thinking about that. People can talk about what they want to talk about.
And let me just say right here, right quick, I appreciate that mentality. What you don't have control over, you can't do anything about. Your focus should be on the game and bettering the game instead of dealing with all of this other nonsense. Why are they doing that? I'm going to tell you why I think all of this hoopla is all about, in my opinion. But yeah, your focus should be on the game. Your focus should be bettering the craft that you are engaged in. And so I appreciate her taking that stand on that. Let's go on.
Talk about, create conversations about, whatever it is. But I think for myself, I'm just here to play basketball. I'm here to have fun. I'm trying to help our team win. Obviously, we've won 3 games, and we feel like we've been in a position to win a few more than that. And my focus is on helping us do that. But I don't pay much mind to all of that, to be honest.
How much do you think that it's impacted your ability to cultivate relationships within the league?
I think everybody in the league understands. One, we're excited about all this attention we're getting. I think we're appreciative of it. I think the league has been great for a really long time. But my focus is on my teammates. They've been amazing. I don't think it's impacted me making relationships on my team. I'm not obviously talking to people on other teams on a daily basis. I have so much to focus on here, and getting my teammates to trust me and do all that is my main focus. Same with our coaching staff, and same with this organization.
But I understand your focus, but I'm just curious, though, are you bothered if folks would attempt to weaponize your name in whatever fight they're fighting?
No, I don't see it. That's not where my focus is. My focus is here and on basketball, and that's where it needs to be, and that's where it has been, and I'm just trying to get better on a daily basis.
And ultimately, and that's the end of that. Audio clip there. Ultimately, that's where it really comes down to, right? Being focused on the game and being focused on what you're supposed to be doing. Right? Every time somebody says something dumb to her or says something that is out of the bag, does she have to respond to every little single thing all the time? I get it. Some of the times you may have to respond to these critics and so forth. But every single time, you win a game or whatever, it's just ridiculous, So I'm going to read to you guys from the rest of this article, and then I'm going to give you my commentary. But it says, following that exchange, Carrington of the Connecticut Sun took to social media and blasted Catlin Clark for her lack of response. See what I'm saying? It's dog. This is apparently this person's name. How How one cannot be bothered by their name being used to justify racism, bigotry, misogyny, xenophobia, homophobia, and the intersectionalities of them all is nuts. I hate all this bigotry, misogyny, racism, xenophobia. All of these are leftist terms. I hate hearing that stuff. Oh, it makes me sick. God. She goes on, we all see that S. We all have a platform. We all have a voice, and they all hold weight. Silence is a luxury. But see, the problem with that is that I remember something that Jesus did. You know, when the religious leaders was about to crucify Jesus and asked him, "Did you say that you the Son of God?" Or whatever. And the Bible says he just sat in silence, didn't say anything. In other words, I'm not going to keep answering my critics. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Every now and then I might answer the critics, and Jesus did that. I'm just using that as an example. Every now and then he answered his critics and shut them down. But you know, critics are going to be critics. They're going to always say something. Because they, you know, in modern 2024 America, they get paid to criticize you. So they're going to always, it's like a movie critic. They get paid to criticize movies. Okay, same principle. These people that report, these reporters, these critics, I believe a significant number of them get paid to criticize people, you know. So, but every single time, no. Luxury is silence is a luxury that you need to use sometimes. Sometimes it's just you just need to focus on playing the game and being the best that you can be. Getting the spotlight on your team and on a WNBA in a way that it's never had before. Okay? Well, anyway, later on Thursday, Clark said before the game between the Fever and Dream that the weaponization is, quote, disappointing. I think it's disappointing, Clark said. Everybody in our world deserves the same amount of respect. The women in our league deserve the same amount of respect. People should not be using my name to push those agendas. So evidently she, you know, now she's giving her opinion, voicing on this, okay? Probably responding to all of the critics saying you need to say something, okay? Well, she's saying something. It's disappointing. It's not acceptable. This league is a league I grew up admiring and wanted to be a part of. Some of the women in this league, she goes on to say, some of the women in this league were some of my biggest idols and role models growing up and helped me want to achieve this moment right here that I get to play in every single night. Just treating every single woman in this league with the same amount of respect is just a basic human thing that everybody should do. Just be a kind person and treat them how you would want to be treated, she added. Wow. Only someone, see, to me, I can tell you, I don't watch WNBA. I don't watch NBA. But the times that I hear her speaking, the times I've watched her playing and highlights and so forth, and the times I've heard her speaking, obviously she's not perfect, obviously. She seems to be very professional. She carries herself professionally, and based on what I know and what I've seen. So her answer to this is a good answer, you know. It's like, but she's giving these people the answer they want. Okay, she says something about it. Using my name in these so-called culture wars. Okay, it's unacceptable. It's wrong. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, let's go on. Catlin Clark did not make the cut for the U.S. Olympics women's basketball, coach, you all know that, team, despite her incredible track record as a rookie player and after enduring a brutal hazing from other athletes, the likes of which some experts said they have never seen. News of the snub erupted into significant fan backlash online. End of article right there. Yeah. But I gave you some snippets of my commentary on this. Yeah. I think that there's a time that you should say something and there's a time that you shouldn't say something. I think there's a time to speak and a time not to speak. She during the interview at the beginning, she didn't say much about it. She didn't say anything much. Look, I'm focusing on the game. That's what I need to focus on. But of course, as I said, critics are going to say what they're going to say. Why didn't you say anything? What's going on? You need to use this, you need to say something. And she said something. But at the end of the day, whether she says something or not, critics are going to be critics. People are still going to say something about her. People are still going to ostracize her name. Look, I'm going to tell you my personal opinion based on the information that I do know from a bunch of sources and from what I have been observing, that I think a lot of this stuff is racially motivated. Here is a straight heterosexual white female. She's white. She's straight. And as Brandon T. Tatum said, she might be a Christian. I don't know. She might be a Christian. But it would make sense, if you will, in the darkest way, if you will, and I don't mean no pun intended, that a significant number of basketball players in the WNBA, which are black, it's over 70% of them are black, and over 30-some% of them are the L word. It would make sense that they would attack her on a constant basis because, after all, they weren't getting that. WNBA was not getting, from what I understand, was not getting this kind of recognition before Catlin Clark came on the scene. Now, we know about Angel Reese, but I don't know if she was around before Catlin Clark came on the scene now, or there was at the same time. I don't know. You guys put it in the description, in the commentary box below if you know anything about that. But it doesn't seem to be that Angel Reese, from what I'm observing, is getting that kind of recognition. For example, the shoe deal, the $28 million shoe deal that was made between her and Nike. To me, that's not even worth debating. I mean, I get it that some people are like, well, how come you didn't give that to Angel Reese? I mean, well, let's stop playing games, folks. Come on now. They gave it to Catlin Clark because she's marketable. Okay, they know that more than likely their investment with her is going to bring back tons of money. They invested $28 million. They're probably going to get $100 million or more, hundreds of millions back in return investment. If they do that with Angel Reese, they probably might not get that much back. Maybe or maybe not. I don't know. And I'm thinking that and I'm going to give you my opinion on this. Now, I've seen Angel Reese's character and the way she acts when she's not playing basketball and so forth. When I've seen pictures of her, I've seen videos, short, small videos of her. Very beautiful woman, But then she does some things that are kind of hood. Let's be realistic, folks. Let's be realistic. She does things that are kind of hood. And who wants to see that? I mean, who wants to see that, man? Nobody wants. Being hood in the public light is not where it's at. I know that it's being marketed that way, and I'm not going to get into the details of why I believe it's being marketed that way. I think it's something dark and nefarious, but I'm not going to get into it in this particular video. But marketing that hood mentality in the public view, it's not where it's at, man. Nobody wants to see that. That's why that's one of the reasons why I'm reverting to men's boxing. That's one of the reasons why I'm not too crazy about Floyd Mayweather. I never was. Great as a boxer as he is, legendary as a boxer, I was never crazy about him. And I didn't like him because he had that hood thug mentality. I didn't like Andrew Boner. I didn't like his attitude. He was a great boxer from what I understand to some extent in the past, but I didn't like all that, and all that. I didn't like that hood stuff is not where it's at, man. That turns me off. Now, some people say, well, Muhammad Ali was braggadocious and he was Yes, he was. But Muhammad Ali was likable. He wasn't a hood rat. He didn't have a hood rat mentality. He was likable by blacks and whites. Okay, so they accepted his bragging. Someone like Floyd Mayweather and these hood people out here, all that hood ghetto stuff, nobody wants to see that. And I've seen some of that type of stuff with Angel Reese, and it's a turnoff for me personally. And I would assume that it's a turnoff for a lot of other people, including shoe deals and shoe marketeers. They may say, well, we don't want to market that. Okay. We don't want to market that kind of mentality. It's already being marketed enough in the hip hop music. Why do we want to market it here? I mean, come on now. No. But it is what it is. Sometimes you have to say something. Sometimes you have to defend yourself against your critics. But sometimes you just have to focus on what it is that you do good. And Catlin Clark, based on what I have seen. Now, I like to say I've seen a lot of highlights of her performing and laying up and so forth, laying up the balls and stuff. But I would like to see her do a dunk. I've never seen any female do a dunk. I like to see that in boxing, basketball. I've never seen that, So I don't know, but anyway, she's good, and yeah. But and it's doing all this type of stuff. Look, at the end of the day, Sometimes you need to say something, sometimes you don't. You need to focus on what it is that you're doing, which is being the best basketball player that you can be. And clearly, to me, a lot of this stuff is racially motivated. Like I said earlier, a lot of this stuff is racially motivated. I admire her for persevering and going forward, even in the midst of all of this. I find this ironic, in summing up this video, I find this ironic that here's a white female basketball player suffering some of the same kind of persecution, almost to some extent, not completely, that black sports figures suffered in the early 1900s in America. Think about that. But yet they persevere, and she's persevering. It's all in the persevering. And at the end, your enemy's going to be under your foot, so to speak. You're going to make them your footstool, and you're going to be at the top. So I commend her for this. She said what she had to say, and she moved on. So what do you guys think about that? Leave a comment in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all. See you again.